Oh,
Can you hear me, Lee?
yeah, loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I see you at 6, mate.
No worries. See you then.
All right, DW, how are you? Yeah, I'm sound, mate, a bit better. Yeah, I'm plodding along, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm going tomorrow. I missed the game on Monday due to being poorly, so I didn't go on Monday. Are you going tomorrow? You up, Alfie, alright? Yeah, I'm fine, Alfie. Plodding along. PCFC, welcome. You alright, mate? How are you? I'm alright, mate. I'm plodding along. Missed the game on Monday, but I'm a bit poorly Monday. Yeah, yeah, mate. Thanks. Feeling a bit better. Ended up in blooming hospital on Wednesday night. So. Yeah, I watched it on telly. The game, and the 30 minutes or whatever, 35 minutes were poor. I thought, but then Super Andy Cook came and saved the day. 6'9" striker, yeah. Yeah, agree. Tickets up there ready for tomorrow. So if you can like and share, please. We'll be starting at 6 o'clock. So like, share, get your score predictions in, questions for the panel. Thanks for the likes. Oop, it looks like there's just going to be me and Lee again today. Right, let's get this show on the road, shall we? Wherever you're in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and welcome to Tranmere vs Bradford Preview Live. And we are live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, X, and TikTok. So, in today's podcast, we'll be talking about the post-match game against Newport, the pre-match Tranmere, basically latest Bradford City news, weather forecast, and what's on your plate. So I am joined by Lee today.
Hello.
Hello, Lee. Right, Lee. So let's get straight into it. What was your thoughts on the Newport game?
Very impressed with J Ben. Thought he had an absolutely excellent game. Thought we were a bit weak for 25 minutes ish until we got into a stride, and then it was kind of just routine, wasn't it? A good win. Played well. Nice to see for a change. 3-1. Didn't see that coming. I thought it was going to be tough. And in some ways it was, but we just never got to grips with their number 7, the mass marauder, did we, down that left side?
Is that the 6'9" guy, that tall guy?
No, that was Hudlin in middle. He was not, he was a beast, wasn't he, him? But that they had that tricky fast winger. He's on loan with them in Mawa, something like that. I can't remember his name. But he was good. He was good.
I were a bit poorly, so I missed the game, but I ended up watching it on Sky. And I thought, to be honest, the first 35 minutes of the game, what I saw on Sky, we were very poor. Andy Cook then obviously scored that absolute bullet of a header. Then Jamie Walker with the good goal. Then
After Poynton came on.
Yeah, then Poynton came on, changed the game completely, and absolutely fantastic goal to get that into the back of the net.
Yeah.
So have you got any other thoughts on the Tranmere game, Lee?
Just like I say, when Poynton came on, it completely transformed us up front. We looked like we had a cutting edge at last. Cook got his goal, great goal, good header. From behind him, if you look at angle his body were at when he headed that ball, it's like, how the heck? And I'm sure their defence thought same thing, but it made it 1-0. But when Poynton came on in midfield, it was Poynton that dragged it back for Walker. And Walker rifled that one in, and then Poynton, what a cracker that was. Outside of his boot, flicked it into the top corner, get in.
Yeah, fantastic strike, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great header from that Udland though as well. You've got to give him that. They left him totally unmarked. That was some header, that one. It nearly took net off. Bobby Campbell-esque.
Yeah, I think that's who we're missing at City, aren't we? A player who can bury it.
Yeah. I'm sure we've got one, but it needs supply. I wasn't right impressed again with Mr. Kavanagh. Just don't know what's wrong with him.
Yeah.
It's just not in the heights, is he? Maybe he needs a rest. And fed up of being, weak with players. Get them told. Some of them need a kick up backside. I'm sure he's one of them. I think he thinks he's too good or something. I don't know what it is with him. There's just some attitude-wise, I think, that's maybe not what it could be.
So then moving on to the Tranmere game tomorrow, Saturday the 12th of October, 3 o'clock, live at Prenton Park, and it is on Sky Sports Plus due to the international break. So get yourself over at Sky Sports Plus tomorrow, 3 o'clock, and you can watch Tranmere vs Bradford live. And the referee is Mr. Sonny Gill, and he has had one appearance in the Championship, giving 3 yellow cards, no second yellows, no reds, 1 penalty. In League One, he's had 4 appearances, 16 yellow cards, 1 second yellow, no reds, 1 penalty. He's had 1 appearance in the National League, 3 yellow cards, no second yellows, no reds, 1 penalty. In the EFL Cup, he's had 2 appearances, 5 yellow cards, no second yellows, no reds, no penalties. Altogether, he's had 8 appearances, 27 yellow cards, 1 second yellow, no reds, and 3 penalties. And just having a bit of a deep dive into some insight from the game from footmob.com. Tranmere haven't scored 4 goals in their last 5 matches. They're unbeaten in 4 home games. Tranmere Rovers and Bradford have not drawn any of the last 4 matches against each other. Bradford have scored 8 goals in their last 5 matches. Andy Cook has created the most big chances for Bradford City, 4, and Andy Cook has had the most shots on target per match for Bradford City, 1.4. So Bradford City top goal scorer is Andy Cook, or should we call him the GOAT, Sir Lord Andy Cook. He's had 5 goals, no assists, 10 matches played. And there's his Patrick with 3 goals, no assists, and he's played 9 matches. And digging into some stats. 2 minutes. Got a bad cough today. So Tranmere Rovers, the possible lineup, and I'm sorry, I apologise if I'm butchering these names, is McGee, O'Connor, Davis, Turnbull, Norman, Henry, Merry, Bradshaw, Morris, O'Meara Patrick, and Daniels, with Davidson, Hawks, Sanders, Solomon, Taylor, Wood, Murphy. They're currently 17th in the league. Their last 4 matches, they've won against Ackley and Stanley. Who are they exactly? MK Dons they've drawn, Swindon they've drawn, and Salford they've drawn. The team news for them: midfielder Khan is away on international duty with Gambia to play against Madagascar, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Oh, probably not, but Bradford City is Walker, Diabates, Byrne, Shepherd, Ben, Smallwood, Wright, Walker, Odwar, Cav, and Cook, with Oliver, Smith, Halliday, Poynton, Evans, Richards, and Doyle all on the bench. Bradford City are currently 9th. In the last 4 games, we've beaten Newport 3-1. We've drawn against Morecambe and Derek Adams 1-1. We lost against Harrogate and we drew against Wimbledon. Graham Alexander may opt to stick with the winning lineup from Monday, although Bobby Poynton is pushing for a call after his goal and assist from the bench. The referee, Sonny Gill, last officiated City in a 1-1 home draw with Harrogate in September 2023. The match odds are Tranmere 9-5, City 8-5, and the draw 11-5. And the last time these sides met, City beat Tranmere 2-0 at Valley Parade on Good Friday, kicking off their impressive unbeaten run until the end of the season. So, Lee, what's your thoughts on that?
Just going to be another tough game, isn't it? Amadi Patrick, former Bradford City player, we know he's electric pace and we know he's got a goal in him. Usually spectacular from range, so he'll take some watching. If he starts, if he comes on as an impact player, either way, they'll need to watch him. I'm just happy that you mentioned Ben inside there. I hope he is. I hope he starts because he is absolute quality. He reminds me, in a small way, of Stephen Darby. He just has that class about him. You know, you look at him and you think he's a proper footballer, and he is. And he is. And I'm sure he's going to have a fantastic career. I just hope we can sign him permanent for however long that lasts, because I think he'll get headhunted for a better side. He really will. Good player. Goals. We've got goals in us, but he's got to pick the right combination. Tranmere it's always been a tough place to go, Prenton Park, and it won't be any different tomorrow. We have to go there, get on the front foot, and stay there. Keep them pressed back because they'll hurt us otherwise. So I'm confident that we can do it. Maybe Tranmere was maybe Newport was the start of our season. That's a start that we would have loved. We beat MK Dons, yeah, but that was a much more comprehensive performance, I thought. So let's hope that it's a continuance of a winning run. That's what we're all looking for.
So, looking at the team, Lee, from Monday, we played 3-5-2 with Walker, Diabates, Byrne, Shepherd, Wright, Walker, Smallwood, Adwar, Ben, Cav, and Cook. With Poynton, Tyler Smith, Louis Richardson, and Corey Evans are all coming on. What was your thoughts on that? And would you keep to the same team?
I think I would. I don't think I'd change anything. The only thing I would change is possibly Tyler Smith. I'd have him in from start. I can't remember if he started or not, or if he came on for Kavanagh, but yeah.
He came on the 69th minute for Cav.
Yeah, came on for Kavanagh. I'd start with him. He's looking like he's got a point to prove now. And maybe it's time to give him a start and park Kavanagh on bench for now. Let him just be part of squad. Fair enough. Bring him on if you need to, but he needs to get that hunger back. And at the minute, he doesn't have it. So that's about the only change I think I'd make.
Yeah. I hope we stick with the same team like there, but changes. Cav, get Cav out of the team, bring on Smith, and probably bring on Bobby Poynton for somebody. We need players to score goals, and I think Bobby Poynton deserves it after his performance on Monday. What I watched live on Sky because I couldn't get to the game because I'm a little bit poorly, but a bit better now. But see what happens with that. Anything else you want to talk about the Tranmere game, Lee?
Well, we've got the two lads in Evans and Huntingdon. Did I see somewhere that Huntingdon's actually injured himself in training or something?
I'm not sure, Lee.
Evans came on, didn't he, late in game? Huntingdon, think, was down on the bench, but then he wasn't on the bench. Just have to wait and see.
Just go have a quick butchers on the TNA, see if there's anything mentioned in there. But there's nothing mentioned in TNA about it.
No,
It's
no, I think it came out in his interview. on YouTube with Graham Alexander, and I noted on one on Loose Chickens or Up the Chickens. I can't remember which one it were on now. Somebody were asking about there were an interview with Stephen Gent. I'd be interested in seeing that myself if anybody finds a link. It were on with Sky recently.
So
Anybody
seen,
see it?
I've seen the one with Sharp.
I saw that one, but there's been one with Stephen Gent, our erstwhile player go-getter. So I'd be interested to see that. But it were with Sky, so maybe a trip through the pages of Sky Sports. I don't know. I haven't been able to find it yet. I only saw it just before we started tonight, so yeah. So I'll have a look for that. But if anybody's seen it, I'd be interested to know what was said.
So, anything else to talk about the Tranmere game, Lee? Because I know there's only two of us here today. Again, I don't know where everyone else is.
Just think, as a game of football, if you're a neutral, I thought that was a good game to watch. But we're Bradford City fans, so we have to pick holes in our own performance, don't we? There were green shoots of improvement in that game for all to see. I thought we played well. Dodgy start, but once we got in front, they had a little spell in second half and all, didn't they, for 10 minutes or whatever it was. But we never looked like losing that game. I never at any time thought we're going to struggle here. I said that last week. I thought we would, but we didn't. We seemed to just get into our straps a lot better. Like I say, Ben just really impressed me. He really did.
Yeah. So Tranmere game, what do you think your score prediction is going to be, Lee?
I think I'm going to go for what we did last season, 2-0 to us. I think I'm going to go 2-0.
Any goal scorers?
Yeah, Cook. Cook and possibly Smith. Possibly Poynton if he comes on at some point, if he's not in starting 11. Yeah, any two of those three.
Yeah, I think
it's got a good feeling about it, and it's not an easy place to go, but yeah, 2-0.
Yeah, I think we're going to win possibly 3-1. Andy Cook.
I do.
Poynton. And I think we're going to go Smallwood.
Smallwood?
Oh, yeah, well. Smallwood free kick.
He did it a drive, didn't he? It was slightly against Newport, but it were destined more for Moon than it was for back at net, I think. Yeah. But he got into range and he let go, and there was some velocity in that. There was some venom in it. If that had been on target, I think that would have been back at net. But long may it continue. Keep having a go. And again, Smallwood winning his tackles, not shirking the work, finding little simple balls to people, not trying to put stuff over the top. And some of his crosses were good. I thought he had a good game. I do. Never thought I'd hear myself say that, but I think he had a really good game. He's improving this season, no end.
So on TikTok, we've had Haru, who thinks it's going to be 4-1 Cook hat-trick and
rejuvenated.
90 mins. We've had Sean, who's going to put, he's going to put possibly, I think he's putting 3-0 here with Wright, Cook and Shepherd to score.
I'm not singing anybody a song.
Oh, Sean thinks it's going to be 3-1.
He's still with us, Johnny.
I'm talking to myself out, having it on mute. Duh. Right, so we've had Sean, who thinks it's going to be 3-1 City, with Wright, Cook and Shepherd scoring. We've had Haru, who thinks it's going to be 4-1 with a Cook hat-trick and Poynton 90 mins. So TikTok, keep your score predictions coming in. So your latest weather forecast for tomorrow's game is the sun will rise at 7:34 a.m. and will set at 6:21 p.m. And it looks like it's going to be sunny up to 11 o'clock, where it's going to be 11 degrees. And then from 1 o'clock onwards, it's going to be showers. So you need to bring your big coat with you. So that's the weather forecast. And just now moving over to the latest Bradford City news from the TNA. This is from 5 hours ago. How Bradford City compare to the rest of League 2 with data. And from the Simon Parker article, basically it says City are exactly where they should be after 10 games according to data. They're 15 points tally at the stage at the season matches expected total from specialist analyst Stats Bomb. Graham Alexander's side had to deal with the guts of injuries and enforced format changes. Having reverted back to his favourite 3-5-2, they'll rebuild momentum starting at Tranmere tomorrow. So, a bit of stats for geeks. Just see what it says. So, City only goal from a set piece so far was Richie Smallwood's penalty against Bromley. That is currently XG is 2.67. And then the Starbund fixtures show that Bantams are currently one of the strongest teams when it comes to getting the ball out wide and crossing. They're ranked third from amount of crosses in the box with 11.8 per game, and then success rate of 34%. The average in the division is 9.63 with 20% coming off. City also third when it comes to deep possession, which defines dribbling, passing, and carrying into the final third. With a total of 477 is only behind MK Dons and Notts County. So with the stats and stuff, Lee, when you watch it at home and stuff, do you feel it's improved under Graham Alexander?
I certainly thought that after Newport game. I thought they were starting to get it. He came out with a comment today on his interview on YouTube, where Cookie said that somebody were doing something. So Graham Alexander's reply to Cookie was, "Well, go tell him. You don't need to come through me. You don't need to tell me. Go tell him." So he sounds like, from that, it's fostering a thing where players have to take ownership of what they're actually doing on pitch and not trying to go through him like some kind of glorified school teacher, which I quite applaud. You know, if somebody's not doing something that they should be doing, players need to tell each other. That's how it's always been in football. You know, why has it not been like that is the question, I guess, that comes out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprising thing, but yeah. I agree. Just, you know, if Kavanagh's not making the runs he should be making and he's making you look a bit of a prat, tell him, you're making me look a prat here, mate. Can you just time your run a bit better or pull it in, pull it out, whatever, you know, you just... It's a no-brainer. It should be a no-brainer.
Yeah. So we've had Scrapman on X 2-0 City with Cook to score 2 goals. And also he asks how to sub to the podcast. If you want a sub Scrapman, just have a look on YouTube. You'll find me on there, Chickens on the Loose. Look on there and you'll find me. Just sub on there, Facebook, and also on all podcast services. So we've had Haru on TikTok. Just hope we don't have a repeat of last time away at Tranmere. We've had here. Oh, Robbie thinks it's going to be 2-0 with Cookie double. Robbie thinks 4-0 Tranmere. Graham out.
Sharp
Right,
going
Lee,
to Robbie, still at work, isn't he?
Do you? Dan thinks it's going to be 1-1. So
Will
Robert,
be.
not Robert, Lee.
I'll
So do you
change my
want
name if you want.
to change it? Yeah, that's only on weekends, isn't it?
I'll
That
run
one?
around to make it look full as well. No, maybe
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, we've got more people in. It's like the EFL trophy here than. So we've only
Yeah.
got one person in, so it's been a bit of a short podcast.
Well, I saw Diane come in and then vanish, and then somebody with a big pink heart came in and then vanished, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think we have to change his aftershave, mate.
Yeah. So Lee, do you want to shout about, vent about anything?
No, at the moment, I'm pretty happy with the way it's going. It could have been better with a better start to see. We had a great start, didn't we? MK Dons, we got them beat. But it's been so inconsistent since then. We need that consistency. Because if we don't get that, we're not going anywhere. We're staying right where we are, to coin a phrase. So if I'm going to rant about it's consistency at team, and some messages coming from GA sometimes in these podcasts, I'm going to start watching them.
Yeah. So I've got a rant and a little bit of a vent, and just everything in general. So I can't remember where it is on TikTok. Somebody asked me, "What have I changed my mind on Graham Alexander?" And the answer to that question is probably no. I've not changed my mind. We won obviously on Monday. Great win, 3-1. But he needs to keep this up. We're playing Tranmere tomorrow. Anything could happen. You never know. We could get battered 3-0. If we lose or get battered by Tranmere, you never know what's going to happen. Graham Alexander is a good manager, but he needs to grow some balls and start having a plan B from other stuff instead of just like I was watching it on telly or passing about and stuff like that. And it's good, but going forward, it doesn't seem to have a plan B. The defence still needs improving, I think. We should have not let Sam Subs go out on loan to wherever he's gone. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. We've lost our heart of our defence. We lost our midfield maestro Gilead. But Graham Alexander has come in and has tried to improve the team in his form and way. So at the minute, I am Graham Alexander in for the meantime, but that may change. Sam Stubbs has gone to Cheltenham, I think. Jez Haru. So we'll see what happens against Tranmere. But everybody knows what normally happens at Tranmere if you get a heavy defeat or your team loses. It used to be Oldham, but it's now Tranmere. So if we win, we win. If we lose, obviously, because I think they're bottom of the league as well, Tranmere, in 17th, if I've read that correctly. Losing defenders, I know, is not Graham Alexander's fault. But if he's brought in the defenders what are crocked, i.e. Sam Johnson, whatever his name, or Callum Johnson, who's come and been crocked, that's his fault. He's brought in players who are injured and probably knew they're injured, and I don't understand how it goes past the physio department again with injuries. So if we win tomorrow, it's like my head saying we'll probably win 3-0 tomorrow, Cook and Smallwood to score. But then my heart's thinking it wouldn't surprise me if we lose that game tomorrow against Tranmere. We've got history with Tranmere where we've lost goal. How's it his fault? So he picks the team. I know he can only pick the team what he's got, but if he's working them too hard in training, we had it with what's his name, Adams, where we've heard it from the guy on Radio Leeds, the commentator who used to be the fitness coach. He used to run players into the ground every time, and it could be with the training facilities. I know that's not his fault, but Graham Alexander needs to make me a believer, and the believing needs to start happening soon as.
I think you're not on your own with that. He needs to make us all into believers, doesn't he? And I think it starts with his team. Because I'm wondering if his team actually believe in some of the stuff he comes out with. I don't know. But I don't believe we should get rid of Alexander. He needs longer to really bring this team on.
It's like
And I think he can. I think he can. I just wish he didn't do it.
Vern on TikTok who just says, "Stay positive. It's too early in this
Exactly.
season."
Exactly. Far too early.
I agree with you, Vern. But as a Bradford City fan, we've had the same shit, different day mentality every goddamn year at this club. And like Dan saying there, Dan on YouTube, I support Graham. He's like Marmite, Graham. You either love him or you hate him. I reckon if you grabbed 100 Bradford City fans at tomorrow's game, for example, and just say Graham Alexander in or out, it won't surprise me if, I don't know, 30%, 40% of them people there want him out, and then the rest probably say in. You probably can tell I'm not a big Graham Alexander fan. He needs to win me over. I like saying that starts tomorrow. He needs a plan B. We need a plan B. And when we're watching him and when we're losing, we don't have a plan B. And I'm going to take the Walsall game where I went to watch it live. And we end up scoring. I think did we score first, Lee Walsall? Or did they score first? They scored first, didn't they?
I think they scored first.
Yeah, they scored, then we scored.
Yeah.
And then they scored again. But then we didn't have a plan B. He just brought on Vidame Oliver, smash it up front. It doesn't always work.
Again, another game that it were one we would normally expect to win. It's just that Walsall's just such a tough place to go. You know, it's always been like that at Bradford, though. It's always been. Take it from someone that's been going a very long time. Ups and downs. Half of the course. They call it a roller coaster ride. It must be the longest roller coaster in history. At times, it just is. But that's why we love them. Bradford City till I die. Always will be. Never been another club for me.
So
and there never will be.
So before I absolutely go OTT on the Graham Alexander stuff, other stuff.
Don't do it.
Other stuff is it's the FA Cup draw Monday, and that is live, I think, on possibly BBC, and it's live from Valley Parade. Just looking at the number, we are number 8 in that draw. So, just for a giggle, Lee, who would you want in the FA Cup first round?
Poof. Huddersfield Town. Why not?
Home or away, Lee?
Home, of course.
Right, who have we got?
Well, they're struggling, aren't they? They're a possible step into next round.
So I'm hoping we get who looks easy to beat. Probably
Huddersfield Town.
I hope we get either number 52 in the draw, and this is at home. It's either Hartlepool United or Brackley Town. I hope we get one of them. I hope we get like a lowish team in the league, even York City or Biggles Wade.
No, York could be. York's a massive banana skin sometimes for us.
There's a load of like National League teams as Forest Green or Weymouth, Maidstone versus Ebbsfleet, Plymouth Parkwood or Worthing or Braintree or Bishop Stortford. So I just hope we get a low team, beat them, and just basically have a nice FA Cup first round trip at home for once in a blue moon. TikTok, YouTube, who would you like? Because we've got another, say, 5 or 6 minutes or so. So get your FA Cup. Who would you like in the FA Cup in the first round? So Haru wants Maidstone at home. That'll be funny. So keep them coming in. So Lee, have you got anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. Just keep getting behind the lads because they need you right now. I think we've come through a tough period, and it's time we started getting behind them properly and not booing, not all this, some of this other rubbish that's been going on. Just get behind the lads. City till we all die, yeah? That's what it should be. Let's get forward.
So TikTok, if you can, before we do disappear, get your FA Cup predictions in. Who do you want in the FA Cup? Haru again. Graham also celebrated his birthday yesterday. Hopefully that's a good thing. I see Tom has joined. I'm going to send you an invite, Tom, if you feel like you want to speak. Because I know you did your podcast thing last season. I can't remember if you're doing it this season. So if you want to come on and just talk about your podcast or anything you know about Bradford City, feel free to come and join, and I'll give you a couple of minutes. If you don't join, we'll slowly wind down. Sam on TikTok. One thing we can't keep getting rid of managers.
No, we can't. I agree with that.
Robbie thinks we're going to be
never works. It never works. It's never worked. How many managers have we had, and where are we still? And it speaks for itself, that, doesn't it? That would be a rant, would that, wouldn't it? I suppose, but yeah.
Yeah, that'd be.
It never works. Just getting rid of your manager willy nilly, unless they're absolute, a bit like Adams, arrogant gits that you're just never going to get along with. It never works. Never has, never will.
Robbie, if you was a manager, Johnny, what would you do? That's a good question. I would probably play 4-4-2. Get two attacking wingers down the wing. Get the paciest players in the league just to run their socks off down each wing and try to cross balls in. Like Tariq Wright, I read a stat about Tariq Wright the other day. I think he's like, it runs Sky, I think, and it run about his assists and stuff and his down the wing possession and stuff. So get some pacey players down the wing, and obviously start Andy Cook every game. But then I would give give like the youth a game. Just youth. Bradford City need to start blooding youth into this team from the youth academy. What does still exist, because obviously Bobby Poynton came through it. But with like the youth academy. Okay. Yeah. So Tom said he could come on for 5 minutes or so. So I've just sent him.
Just one thing we have still never addressed. We need a left back, because that would put Tyreek Wright, that you were just mentioning, that little bit further up the pitch to give us that out. They work in tandem, same as, on right hand side. Just got to happen. Doesn't have to be a 4-4-2. It can be a 3-5, whatever, as long as that man is pushing Tyreek Wright further forward, because that's where he's effective. He's not a fullback, even though he can play wing back. He's not a wing back, not for me. I don't care what he says. Maybe he's been put up to saying that. He's not. Anybody agree? Disagree?
So Lee, before we go to Tom, we've had, I think, Ruby leave one man up top when we are defending a corner. I 100% agree with you. Right, Lee.
Halfway line job.
We've actually got a guest on, Tom, Lee, called Tom McDermott.
Welcome, Tom.
He's a Man United fan, but I know he's done a podcast with Bradford
Boo.
City. I know there's uproar. There's people
No,
shouting.
I've got an issue. Gary Bailey, he'll know exactly what I'm talking about because if he were there in Bradford End where we usually stand.
So I'm going to welcome Tom to the podcast.
Welcome, Tom.
Hi, chap. Sorry, I'm a little late, so I don't know exactly what you've covered. But the last time I went to Tranmere was probably about 12 months ago, and it didn't end well for Mark Hughes that night.
Yeah.
And you escaped with your life, from Birkenhead.
Yeah, no. I was there midweek against Newport. A good performance, I thought. I thought Bradford played their way into the match. Opening goal, lovely little ball from Jamie Walker, who spotted the gap in the defence to Ben, and then obviously, I mean, how do you describe that header from Andy Cook? You know, you can go back to his goals over the years.
You
At
can't.
first glance, it probably didn't.
Behind him,
Exactly.
his body was contorted like he were falling off a cliff, but he managed to guide that ball into that top corner. And yeah,
Absolutely, lovely
I don't
header.
care. It were 1-0, brilliantly finished. He's an enigma in this division. Is Cook, without a doubt.
Are you going to the game tomorrow, Tom?
I'm not, sadly. I was going to go along. I was at the Grimsby game, the midweek match a couple of weeks ago. Yes, the Grimsby game and the Morecambe game, which again started a similar pattern, didn't it? After the Harrogate game, I was a bit worried then. It continued that sort of poor sort of approach, but I think it goes back down to formation. I think to me, it looked like Graham Alexander had recruited for 3-5-2 in the summer, and then he's gone back to 4-4-2. But I think the way they played in midweek, 3-5-2, I think again, I don't know if Lee mentioned it or yourself. I think that they played themselves into the game. Ben is obviously a fantastic outlet down there. Who'd have thought that 4 or 5 months ago with Brad Halliday in his form and taking all those awards for the club at the awards do? But he's definitely there, and I think if Bradford can get ahead of teams, I think they're quite hard to stop. I think it's important that they can edge ahead. From what I've seen, and if they do, they're hard to stop. But again, it's starting well. It's finding that consistency. All these sort of buzzwords and cliches, but I think it's true, and I think that if they can do that, they've got the squad, and I think that Alexander's still the man to get them into the playoffs or hopefully above that.
Would you be getting a series 2 of your fantastic podcast, what you did last season, Tom, with Bradford City?
Yeah, I'd love to do it. I had so much fun with the club, the players, media guys, everybody, and it was so interesting really, because sometimes you sit on not this particular one, but you hear and see, and people might put out there that the players aren't interested, not cared of down tools, and my first love, Manchester United. You can certainly argue that, but I know for a fact that the players at Bradford, they do care. They want to do well. They want to get City out of that division. But due to time and other podcasts, no, I won't be doing one this season. I might pop back for the odd one, the odd update throughout the season if I've got time. And when United are not playing, I'll certainly get down to Valley Parade as much as I can. But at the moment, no. But I'm obviously a keen watcher. Like I say, I was there midweek. I was there at Morecambe. Went over to the Grimsby game as well. Carlisle at home, which I thought that was the start of the surge. Actually, again, Jamie Walker back in the team. That press early on in the game, setting Cook up. But I think if they can settle on a format, I think it's so important to play to a style that suits the players. And I think we saw that midweek against Newport, that you stick to it. You lads will know as well, watching football, you play your best formation to suit your players, really. And I think if they do that, they've got a chance. Questions for tomorrow, I guess, are: does Smith come in perhaps instead of Kavanagh? Is there room for Poynton in there? Otherwise, I think it pretty much picks itself.
It does. I agree.
So, Tom, I'm
And
going to leave.
consistency is all.
So, Tom, I'm going to let you, if you want, you can plug your podcast if you want, your new podcast. Or
yeah, it's not football related, guys. So
yeah, go for it.
It's I don't know if you may remember 15 years ago, a lady called Claudia Lawrence set off for work or returned home from work and has never been seen since. And I've just done a podcast that's done quite well, actually, with her mother, Joan, and it's called Answers for Claudia. So if you're at a loose end heading to the game tomorrow, stick it on, see what you think. Something a bit different.
Is that on all podcast services, Tom?
Yep, it's on platform Apple, Spotify, and wherever you like to listen to your podcast, really.
Okay. And what do you think the score prediction will be for tomorrow, Tom?
Oh, I think they're going to have to get it right one time away from home, aren't they? Then it click, and if we can get it clicking. I mean, Nigel Atkins is I like Nigel. He's a clever guy. He's not stupid. He knows how to tap into that community and that spirit at Tranmere. Yeah, you'll just listen to his interviews. He's not daft. Do I think Tranmere are going to get near the playoffs? No, I don't. But these type of games, and again, you guys will know watching Bradford City. Bradford City are still the big club, the big fish in that league. So wherever Bradford City go, it's a big game for the home team, and it will be tomorrow. So to a certain degree, I think Nigel's got his team talk done for him, isn't he? Bradford are coming to town. I believe, is it on Sky?
It's on Sky Sports.
Yeah, it's be one of the many ones, won't it? So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Bradford win.
And to push it, Tom, goal scorers.
Oh, well, you'd be surprised if Cook doesn't score, wouldn't you? Cook and Walker. There you go. Cook and Walker.
Cook with his telescopic neck.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I do listen in when I can. I think what you're doing is good on the podcast. There's always a good debate, so keep going. And when I got more time, I'll come on for a bit longer.
Cheers, Tom.
That'd be good to see you. Nice to meet you.
Take care, lads. All the
Cheers,
best.
Tom. Thank you for your time.
All the best. Have a good weekend.
Right, Lee, I'm just going to mute you now because I'm going to start winding down.
Okay, dokes. Are we getting a
Right, I'm going to say thanks for Lee and Tom for coming along today. Thanks TikTok, YouTube, Facebook and other social sites who have been listening / watching along. Hope you've enjoyed it. Like you say, go and have a look at Tom's podcast about that Claudia woman who disappeared. I can't remember last name what he said. Who disappeared 15 years ago. That's all on podcast services. But if that's not your thing, and Bradford City is, this Chickens on the Loose, or Bradford City Chickens on the Loose podcast is on all podcast services, from Apple Music to YouTube to Spotify, also on YouTube and X. Also, we've got a small Facebook page, Bradford City Chickens on the Loose on there. That's my own personal one. And then we've also got Up the Chickens, or Bradford City Up the Chickens on Facebook, where we do Golden Goal and Super 6. Do Super 6 every year, and we do Golden Goal every Bradford City match day. I am at the game tomorrow, Dexter, so if you come and see me, I don't bite, come and have a chat with me. And wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Thank you for coming along. Enjoy the rest of your night. Come on, City. Good night, everybody.